This is a tank that needs no introduction for World of Tanks Blitz. It's the T-49. Now, what makes this tank so strong is two things: speed and power. Now, speed is obviously very self-explanatory. And while when I normally say speed and power, I mean the power bringing it the speed, but in this term, it is the gun. It has 560 damage on its standard heat ammunition and 780 on the high explosive. So what that means is with your standard ammo with 170 millimeters of pen, which I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty bad. It's not really able to cut through most frontal armor. If you are able to connect a shell, you are able to take off 1/3 of any tier 8 hit point pool. And if you're shooting the high explosive shells, well, you're able to take off half of most tier 8 medium hit point pools, which is pretty insane. Now, penetrating the HE on this tank is pretty hard. It's got about 80 millimeters of pen, which is very good. But in a scenario like this, there's only a couple tanks you can get through on the front, vehicles like the T-49 and maybe the T-34-85 Rudy. But apart from that, you can't pen them, so you got to get to your rear. But when you get to the rear of enemy opponents, obviously that means that you've either came up through their spawn or you've done a really aggressive flanking maneuver, which means that you can be in a lot of trouble. But that's not going to stop us from doing a pretty solid job. The other thing, as I said about the tank that is great, is speed. This is a light tank, so you're able to go 70 plus kilometers per hour, but carry a 150 like 2mm gun, which is insane. You know, you're able to deal massive damage and drive away after dealing it. Those are two things that are very rare to find. There are vehicles like the RHM, but the RHM obviously does not have that massive alpha. Now, I was actually trying to load HE there on that shot, but you know what? I'm going to take a pen either day of the week. That's still 500 buckaroos ripped right off of that T-49. So here we go again. Let's push up this hill. Maybe we can spot that ISU 122S. Oh, baby. Come on, aiming, and... Oh, no, come on, back up, or do that. That works too. And fire! Oh, baby! 516 damage into the ISU 122S, and that is half of that player's hit point pool taken out. So now we got vehicles like the Emil 1951, which is getting some nice shots into my teammate, but he won't be for long. In fact, oh wow, we can't penetrate that guy at all. Well, you know what, we're gonna get a nice heat shell into the Rudy there, finishing his entire game off. You know what, we're doing okay. Even though this is a pretty tricky scenario, we're getting big shells out. We do have tanks like the ISU 152 off to my side, and we got vehicles like the Chimera, but that is not going to stop me from getting out some big ol' shells. There goes the ISU missing me. Let's get a tap into his lower plate. Oh, that's gotta hurt you, dude, doesn't it? And now we just drive away. That is the thing about speed and power, is we speed away. And that's just so fun. Like, I literally just got massive chunks into the enemy team, and in return, I took no damage. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do the old U-turn, I'll call it, where we've been spotted by their team. They think that we're on one side, and now we're going to sneak our way up behind them once again. Now we know that Chimera is right there, so what I'm going to try and do, well, actually, let's aim in a little bit before we poke this. That way we're pre-aimed, and we can just go, yee! Oh, you got to be kidding me. That was so sad. I don't even know how that didn't pen. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. We can take a deep breath. We've got the Smasher over here still. And the Smasher, well, it is a very deadly tank. A vehicle I would much rather take out is the Emil. Boom! 834 damage taken off of him. Oof, that's gotta hurt you, dude. I'm sorry. Not really. Not really sorry at all. But still, that's gotta hurt you quite a bit. Now we've got the Smasher off to the side, which I'm not sure what he's gonna plan on doing. But, well, I think I just watched him fire, which means we should be able to get a big ol' slap. Oh! That accuracy, it's so bad. It's so bad. Again, issues with the tank arise with accuracy. Now, hopefully this E25 is going to be able to take out the Smasher. While that's going on, well, we've got the 112-2 over here, who maybe, just maybe, we will be able to get a shell into. So, not the 112-2, the Chimera, sorry, losing my mind. We should be able to get a nice tap into him, though. I'm going to aim it on his tank. When he drives back, it's going to expose his lower plate, and there you go. Perfect. Nice tap into his lower plate. And with that, we are over 3,500 damage. Are we going to be able to penetrate one more shell? Well, we are definitely going to try. So here we go. The speed and power will be immense. The Chimera, he's pushing off to the side, which is going to give me the perfect advantage to come up behind his tank. And this is what we've all been waiting for. Yeet! 780 on the dot, which is, of course, my high explosive damage. And there you go, 4,243 damage in that first game. And it basically made the T-49 seem like a walk in the park. Now, that was a pretty solid battle, not gonna lie. Normally when you play this tank, you expect to pull out about 2,000 if you work it correctly in the whole game. So this was a pretty spectacular battle, but it really got to showcase what the tank is capable of doing. Heat shells will butter through most lightly armored tanks. High explosive ammunition will ruin vehicles like that Emil 1951 that we took over 800 hit points off of in a single shot. Chimera, another HE shell. So yeah, the tank is very influential if you're able to get out games like this, where the enemy team is exposed. You know, that ISU-122S had no idea he was about to lose half of his health. Same for that ISU-152. So the thing that I do in that tank, or this tank, should I say, is I actually do the peek-a-boom aggressive playstyle. Normally when you peek-a-boom, what you do is you're behind cover, undetected, and then you poke, you snap a shell for big damage, because that's usually what the tanks do, and then you back into cover. That's sort of a waffle playstyle, a Kampfpanzer 50-ton playstyle. Well, this tank, I do a little bit of a different playstyle. It's more like rush peek-a-boom. So you see, let's say, an RU-251. So what you'll do is you'll get ready, you'll build up a bunch of speed, zoom past them, and of course you don't need accuracy when you're 10 feet next to your opponent. That way, you don't need to worry about the terrible dispersion. You BAM! Snap a shell into them, and then you zip on back into cover. It works great on heavy tanks, especially like that Emil on their team, or the IS-6, vehicles that are slow, the Tiger II. You get a big slap into their side, and then you just go right back in the cover. And that's my super aggressive playstyle in the tank. But I don't always do that. That's only in a game that I know I can get away with really aggressive things. So right now, I am just waiting, and we're going to pre-aim our shot about here. This is a really good position if you're able to spot enemy tanks crossing. The great thing about a light tank is that you have more mobility than anything, which is fantastic. So I can get here way quicker than their tanks. But, well, there we go. There's a T-25-2 spotted, and he should hopefully poke that. We've also got the Emil-1. But, yeah, let's get a tap into the T-25-2. And there you go. That is half, over half, of a Tier 8 hit point pool. And like, yeah, I don't think that guy enjoyed that all too much. Now we've got the RU-251 off to the side over here, which obviously I'm going to try and get a big ol' slap into. Boom! 647 gone. And that's the exact playstyle I was talking about with this vehicle. The Rush Peek-a-Boom playstyle. So we just got a shot off into that RU with basically no repercussions. And that is what I like to call insane. Now we've got tanks like the Emil-1 over here. Let's aim in an HE on his tank. Ah, it just went a little bit high. That was my fault for aiming, but yeah, that was a little bit sad. Either way, we're in some really tricky waters here. We obviously know the T-49 is on their team somewhere around this spot, and with that, I gotta be careful of him. You know, if that 49 is able to get a connecting shell into me, it's gonna hurt. But we're going to see what we can do here. Let's push our way on up. Hello. Oh, there's a T-25 too. Aiming, 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 aiming. Come on, keep aiming. And oh, fire. Oh, baby. That's what I'm talking about. But there is the T-49. And he was able to basically take off what little hit points I had left. I really wanted to get that T-25-2 taken out, though. So I aimed that shell in for a heck of a long time. Now, we've got the Scorpion G back here, and with that, our team's not doing all too fantastic. I don't have many hit points left, but the good news is I'm far enough away to a point where I will not be detected by the enemy team. So, we're going to aim in and keep aiming and aiming and aiming, and, ooh, we cannot pen that whatsoever. We do have the Emil, but, again, can't really pen that either. Ugh, this is just really tricky right now. We're just kind of enjoying the view, not able to penetrate their team all too much, but that's, again, one of the issues with a vehicle that has only 160 pen. So let's push our way up on here, maybe. Maybe we can get some shells into the IS-6. Aiming, aiming. Eee. Come on, come on. We're not going to be able to pen that, but you know what? Ah, no. Oh, that sucks. Now, good news is, wow, we actually were detected. I was going to say we shouldn't be detected from that, but we actually were. Very surprising to me. The bad news, apart from the good news, is that I can't really do much right now. We're just kind of a sitting duck if we get spotted. So let's aim it on the IS-6. Let's get an HE. Oh my god! Wow, is this gun ever so bad on accuracy? Again, issues with the T-49. But we're winning this, it looks like. I'm not sure. Right now, our AT-15 seems to be a decent player. And with that, we know that the Tiger II is off to the side. I'm hoping this Tiger makes the aggressive move. Come on, do it, dude. I believe in you. You know you want to. Dun-dun-dun. We've also got the 49 over here. There's a lot of death on the enemy team still. And I'm not sure what to make of it. Obviously, we've got the Smasher shooting the Emil. We got the Tiger II, and we've also got the T-49. Now, I would love to get a shell into that T-49. Not sure what his big plan is. Oh, come on, push forwards, and yeet! Oh, baby! It wasn't a pen, but I'll take 300 damage. That's still a very big hit. And with that, now, we do the same thing as always. We drive away. We get away from death. and we get in the safety. And that is just what you're supposed to do in a vehicle like this. We got that 49 over here again, and oh, come on. Fire! Oh, baby! HE goes right into his tank, and that is the death of the T-49. So, this battle was weird, I'm not going to lie. We started off very, very sketchy. In fact, really sketchy on the game. But we're turning it around. We got the Tiger 2 off to the side here. Let's aim in on his vehicle. And yeet! Oh, baby! 596. Again, just another tap into another tank. 3,300 damage dealt now. We've ruined his game. He's not enjoying this all too much. In fact, he's pretty angry at us. We've also got the Smasher over here. Let's aim in on his tank, loading an HE shell in. And, you know, we're not going to be able to pen an HE, but we don't need it. Nice standard shell for 601 there. And again, like, we're not even detected. That's just what you can do in this vehicle. So, we reload. 6 more seconds, and we've got 1 more shell. I don't think that guy is, that 49 likes me all too much. But either way, I can't complain. We did a good job, and we were able to showcase 2 times what this tank is capable of doing. Ruining other people's games. And that's why it's so fun. You have the ability to swipe half of any hit point pull away. 3,907 damage. And even though we were a one-shot for the last probably 2,000 damage we dealt that battle, I was able to use my ingenuity and notice that, well, I'm a light tank. I can outspot enemy opponents, and I can stay behind cover without being detected myself. So, when we were able to get a shell into that 49, oh, it felt so good. And the Tiger 2 couldn't spot me, neither could the Smasher. So, the 49 is a fantastic tank. It's so fun to play, and what I always say to people that struggle working it is you definitely got to know how to work your scenarios. If you're a one-shot in the vehicle, don't stay aggressive. It's not a tank that does very well aggressive. It can get away with aggressive bursts like that on the RE251, but it doesn't do well, as you saw when the other 49 got a shell into me, and I bled my hit points to that T-25-2 to kill him. That is where the tank is very poor. So it's great, but it does have massive drawbacks. Hopefully all of you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye!